How are you going to finance the petition drive? How are you going to finance a campaign to convince the voters?
Yeah, internally, the same way that we've seen everything we've done to date come about. It's all been through private donations of individuals who care enough about this cause. When you think about what the Ohio Liberty Council has become and how we even exist to date, it's an army of the willing. These are individuals who are speaking with their passion, and they'll also speak with their wallet when the time comes. That's the reason we even continue to exist 1 year into the start of this, is that individuals are following their passions and they're putting their money where their mouth is. And so, donations of $10, $20, and $50 times thousands and thousands of people add up. These are not large donors who are contributing to this. These are thousands and thousands of Ohioans. And so we very much view this to be something that's driven by the people. We wouldn't exist if we didn't have the support of our respective groups. And there's a ton of member groups within the Ohio Liberty Council that are driving this.
So you'll have to form a political action committee, file all of the donations?
We actually do have a political action committee in existence already, and that is where primary funding and support for that will come from, publicly at least.
And will you pledge that we will know every individual that gives money and that it won't go through a third party to get to you?
Yeah, it's going to be very much available, absolutely. You know how FEC ruling work. So.
How much money do you have so far?
In the PAC bank account, I think something like $50. And that's the $50 I put in to open up these accounts.
How much do you think it'll take?
We know that ballot initiatives in the past have cost anywhere between $1 million to $3 million. We won't be using paid petitioners. We'll be using a ton of volunteer time. If for some reason God blesses us with an amazing amount of money, we would look into paid petitioners. I'm not fundamentally opposed. At this time, though, the resources don't exist to do it, so we will be relying on an army of volunteer citizens.
When we see your financial report, we are going to see the individual contributors listed.
Yeah, I mean, for every single thing that we have to submit legally will be done. So.
Well, I just want to be clear. You're not going to tell us that you got all your money from one entity from out of state, and then have them say they don't need to tell us where they got their money. Is that right? I mean, are we going to really see your individual contribution?
It will be as transparent as we can make it. I mean, that's the simple way to do this. At this point, we have nothing to hide. So it'll be as transparent as it possibly can be.
Let me get something about the ballot initiative process that I think is really important to understand here. What we've seen over the last 40 years probably in the state of Ohio is that the ballot initiative, the referendum process, has essentially been co-opted by special interest groups, where it is 1, 2, 3 big donors or industries or corporations who actually combine efforts in order to get something on the ballot. And that's because it's so darn expensive and time-consuming to get stuff on the ballot that it has essentially become unavailable to the average person. It's something called the collective action problem. The idea that no individual one of us has enough of a self-interest to actually work really hard in some sort of political action to accomplish a result, to remove a regulation. Well, we think what the health care bill does is it changes that calculus. It essentially, along with all the misbehavior of the Bush administration and the Obama administration, has essentially gotten people fed up, and it has solved this collective action problem. So we're now at a point where people care enough and are incensed enough and passionate enough, and enough people care enough that we can actually solve that collective action problem when it comes to propagating ballot initiatives in Ohio. And the 1851 Center believes that the Ohio Liberty Council is the group to do that, and that's why we're representing them pro bono in this case.
With regard to the special interest question, I would anticipate some of the opponents of this bill, including the insurance industry, might be willing to help you. Are you going to take their money?
No, I think that's absolutely a false anticipation. The insurance companies are getting a gift here from the federal government. This is really important. If I could take it aside to do a quick tutorial, there's a lesson called The Parable of the Baptist and the Bootlegger. That's the idea that half of us are Baptists and we really believe that everybody should have to have insurance because it's in the public interest. The other half of people pushing for that public health law are the bootleggers, those who stand to make a profit off of it. That was true during Prohibition when the moonshine makers wanted Prohibition because they can make more money. It's true now with the drug dealers who can make more money because drugs are prohibited. Well, what we have here, again, with the insurance mandate is the parable of the Baptist and the bootlegger. The Baptists are those who honestly believe that everybody should have health coverage. And and that's wonderful. But then there are the bootleggers who lobby Congress for the insurance mandate, and those are the insurance companies. They're the ones that stand to profit off the mandate, because wouldn't you love to have a situation where every citizen in Ohio was forced to purchase from your media outlet? Of course you make more money. So we expect significant financial opposition to come from the insurance companies, and we expect that opposition could in fact be shrouded in subterfuge and secrecy. But we believe enough people believe in this effort that we can overcome that opposition.